Before we start our match reaction today, I'd just like to pass on our condolences from everyone here at the Webby and O'Neill channel to the sad news today of Sir Bobby Charlton's passing. The man was an absolute giant of English football and in the history of Manchester United, and he would be sorely missed by friends, family and everyone in the Manchester United world. If you'd like to pass on your condolences, your messages of support in the live chat and below the video, please do. And we will be making a video on Sir Bobby in the near future, so look out for that one. Now, first of all, your match reaction to that game tonight?
It seemed a subdued atmosphere, understandably, from the crowd. It didn't seem up for it. Sheffield United and Manchester United fans and the players seemed to take that on board. I thought throughout the game, United were comfortable. I thought they were the better side. Sheffield United, listen, they're a relegation. That's what they'll be fighting. And that's no disrespect. That's just a fact. United didn't play well at times, but they looked comfortable. They did what they had to do.
Was you ever worried throughout that game, though? You know, that first chance in the first half, was it from McBurney?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I was never worried. I thought United would overpower them at times. I thought they would, and they did do. I thought when the changes were made in the second half, the 3 substitutes, United got the speed. But up until then, I just thought United were just lacking in speed, in energy. There wasn't too much control. I didn't think the players at times were working together. I thought they were far apart. But they were always in control. And right throughout the game, I've got to say it, Harry Maguire just looked foot perfect throughout the game. Had a very good game. Surprised? Not really. Sheffield United, like I say, relegation side, big centre forward, might have been different, but you've got to give credit to Harry Maguire. He got man of the match for me and deserved it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stats coming out there on Harry Maguire on his games when he does start and the win percentage with Manchester United, and that only furthers that argument as well, doesn't it? And like you say, for me as well, let us know your man of the match out there, but Maguire for me was my man of the match as well.
Yeah, well, you can't take it away from him. You know, at the end of the day, he might be appearing on lots of channels telling everyone to shut up because he's got something to shout about, and quite rightly so, and that's fair enough. If you looked at that starting lineup, the back 4, you know, it's not the back 4 we want, but they work together, and I thought they controlled it, to be honest with you. The one thing what was missing was the full-backs connecting with the forwards, because in that first half, I thought for the first, at least the first 25 minutes, I thought United was poor going forward. They didn't really seem to get hold of the ball. There wasn't a big threat from Sheffield United. They looked comfortable with the ball.
Who did? United?
No, Sheffield United. Yeah. They were coming. They looked as though they had the speed, especially on the wings. So I thought that was a tricky period. But after that, once the goal went in McTominay, I thought, here we go. First chance, and we get it. And I thought it was great work on the wing, and it was the first bit of work I seen Dalot and Anthony put together, and it ended up going across field and ended up with McTominay held the player off and put the ball in the net. And first chance, I thought it was.
He was definitely against the run of play with McTominay's goal.
Yeah.
And you seen before that with Andre Onana going down, you know, looking like he pulled an hamstring.
Yeah.
But I noticed like 2 or 3 players who was calling him over, you know, doing the old like hand above the mouth, speaking to him. And for me, that was like a tactic, a ploy to get 2 or 3 players around him to have a bit of a discussion of like, listen, lads, what's going wrong here? Because Sheffield United, for me, were coming through our midfield too easy at times, and they were putting our back 4 under pressure. But I thought, like you said before with the back 4, I thought they'd done really well today, considering they don't really normally play together. It's not our first choice back 4, that.
No, I looked at the back 4. I thought they played well, but what let the team down, I thought, the running, the energy, and all that, was actually the midfield. When I looked through that first half, especially, I thought they were too far apart. I looked at Amrabat, and at times, I'm not sure what he thought he was doing. He was looking for the ball in front of their players, what were doing the press, and the gap was there. But the back 4 never gave it him, you know.
I think today, though, on tonight's game, You've seen a lot of players switching in different positions.
Yeah.
And for me, it just didn't look as fluid as you do see with top teams out there playing that sort of system. I think players were a little bit nervy in certain positions in receiving the ball. You've seen a lot of the centre-halves, Johnny Evans or Maguire, making runs into midfield, into attack in the first half. And then you're expecting then other players to drop into positions, and it didn't always see that. And for me, that's why it was leaving gaps in our midfield. And it was like United were going like man-to-man at the back when we were on the front foot. So they did leave us in a little bit of a...
I think once they scored the goal, I think that's when United woke up. Because to me, that's when Johnny Evans and Maguire and all the other players at the back in the midfield were going forward. They were pushing. They all wanted it. I seen Johnny Evans there going right through the middle with the ball, going out on the wing. And Maguire was doing the same. Maguire was pumping long balls in there. So it seemed as though like their equaliser, yes, disappointing handball. It was a poor handball. He should never have done it. But United woke up then. And from that moment onwards, to me, Sheffield United were never a threat. United were always trying to look for it. But that class, that movement, that togetherness wasn't there throughout the game. It wasn't a great game. You know, it
was an underwhelming game. Come the end of the season, you won't remember a lot about that game.
3
tonight.
Points. That's all. Listen, I'm looking at that game there and thinking 3 points. You know, and I was just waiting for the goal. Once the substitutes were made, I thought to myself, Garnacho on here will go for it. And at times when he was on the pitch there, when he came on, I thought he looked excellent. He looked a danger. He wanted the ball. But listen, that goal from Dalot there, what a shot. What an absolute cracking shot. But to be honest with you, you know, Højlund there, he had 2 chances there in the first half. One unlucky, good save. The other, he never got onto it. And then you look at Amrabat, a thunderous shot. I mean, absolute thunderous shot. I seen the post and the crossbar.
Still rattling now.
Rattling. What a shot. It was unlucky. And then if you do look at any other opportunities in that first half.
I've got to pull you back here, though.
Go on.
Going forward into the second half. McTominay was the hero, then he becomes the villain, doesn't he? Did you think that was a penalty? For me, it was.
Oh, clear.
His arm, you know, his shoulder was leaning more towards the ball.
Yeah, it was clear. I don't know why he made the movement. He didn't have to do it. He had plenty of players behind him. But, hey, that's what players do. That's the reaction. And it was in sync with the type of game, what was going on at the time. Do you know what I mean? But overall, I thought United just like steadily plodded on, and Sheffield United sort of like went further back. The second half was a lot better than the first half. United really, I thought, should have gone in at least 2-1 up, because they did create a couple of chances, like I said, through Højlund. And then Bruno there, the free kick. It was unlucky with the free kick, but United was on top then. So if they'd have gone in 2-1 up, it'd have been deserved. But you have to look at it again. Man United starting slowly and they started poorly. They weren't together. The fight wasn't there. But it came good in the end. And luckily, it was Sheffield United who was playing. And you have to look at the 3 points there. And that's the main thing tonight. I mean, it was a weird feeling tonight. Weird atmosphere on the pitch and also in the terraces, but we got the job done, and that's all you can ask for. I think Erik ten Hag will be happy with the 3 points, because it was a difficult evening all round, not just for the players, but for the supporters as well. Yeah,
do you think the substitutions were the reason why we got more of control of the game in that second half, or do you think it was a case of really Sheffield United just tiring towards the end of that second half?
I think what it is, when the 3 substitutes come on, Sheffield United looked at it and they fell back. They fell back. They felt as though, whoa, hang on, we've got to defend this and hold on for a point. And that was the mistake. I didn't see him until the last 5 minutes to be a threat, to be honest with you. But United's movement improved off the ball. Eriksen once or twice pushed the ball out, but Bruno sort of got back into the game. To me, he had a poor game there, but he improved. And the way United moved the ball was a lot better once them substitutes come on. I wouldn't say they had a great game when they come on, but the tempo of the game, the players were up for it. It's like, hey, now's the time. We've got to get that goal. We need the win. The club needs it. Everyone's roaring this on. We've got to have it. Let's get the job done. And that's what happened. The job was done. Sheffield United put to the sword, got the 3 points, and we move up the table. And that's really all you can say. Was there outstanding performances there tonight from the team? I don't think so. But the only bright spark was Harry Maguire, really. That will do his confidence the world of good.
I was actually surprised Højlund come off, or do you think that's the right decision when you look at the fixtures that we've got coming up? Copenhagen early next week, then we're going on to City and Newcastle, etc.
I think
he just needs the rest or what? Because I thought he was our bright spark up front. I thought he held the ball up really well at times, and he looked to link off other people as well.
Yeah, but then if you look at what Martial does, Martial holds the ball up. His link-up plays well. Do you know what I mean? So he's just bringing fresh legs on, fresh ideas, and that was the right thing to do, I thought. That was no slight on Højlund's performance, because I thought he was unlucky, especially in that first half. And like you say, he did hold the ball up. I was disappointed in some of the play down the line from the full-back to the wingers. I thought Rashford and Lindelof didn't link up well. And I thought at times there it could have been better with Anthony and Dalot. I didn't think Anthony had a really good game when he come back. I thought at times...
I thought it was Bobbins tonight. I thought he was really, really poor. He had a bit of a moment in the second half with some link-up play when he cut inside. He retrieved the ball back, but I thought large parts of that game he was just anonymous. And I know it's like his first start back, I think, since he wasn't available. But I don't think that was any excuse tonight. I think there was some simple passes that he just needed to do, and he was wasteful.
I think that's the key to Anthony's performance tonight. The simple passes weren't done. I think when he got the ball out wide and he was on the edge of the area, the ball into the box every time virtually was poor. It wasn't going over their heads. It wasn't getting in there where someone could come flying in for an header or anything like that. His last ball seemed to lack commitment, not commitment, as though like it knew where it was going.
It was like a bit of a token cross or a token effort.
So that went on throughout the first half. So it was right that he got hooked. Yes, it's his first full start for quite a while. Hopefully he'll improve from that. He'll have to improve from that.
We need the improvement.
But what I thought lacking was the actual working together. And as I said, like the full-backs with the wingers, that didn't work right throughout the game, to be honest with you. And I thought the midfield again, and I have been critical this year about the midfield, how they seem to be too far apart. And I thought again tonight they were too far apart. If you look at Bruno's game, his positioning and everything, I don't think that was spot on tonight. I was expecting a captain's performance tonight, because I expected a dogged fight there tonight.
Especially on the back of that win against Brentford, you expected them to have a lot more spark tonight. Well, I certainly did as well. And maybe news off the pitch as well might have affected that today, so you've got to be mindful of that.
Maybe. But the thing is that, to me, when I look at Bruno, and I did focus on Bruno, and I did say the other day that I would focus on Bruno, and I was expecting a captain's performance, because, to be honest with you, it's due, and it wasn't there tonight. But the thing is, I'm not complaining about him tonight, because it was the whole team, and like you say, you have to take into account the atmosphere, the news, what had gone on beforehand with Sir Bobby, and everything like that. So to me, he's going to have to improve. And at the end of the day, we've got Copenhagen there. But the thing is, we've got City next Saturday in the league. If we get 3 points off them, we're only 3 points behind them. So it's a big, massive game for us. And to be honest with you, and I know this sounds absolutely crazy.
You're going to say something crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to say something crazy. But I look at that game tonight, and I think to myself, that was poor from a Man United perspective, but good enough to beat Sheffield United. How are we going to beat City? But I've got this inner belief that we're going to turn it round, and I don't know how. Or nothing tells me. I can't see anything what says it, but I just believe in something, and I want to bring some brightness to tonight, and I want to bring it all next week. And this is the feeling I've got now. I've got like hairs up on my hands, and I don't know where it's coming from. It just might be me and my little bit of madness. What
you can't
I've got.
Actually point to anything.
No, I
to
can't
give you
point.
That enthusiasm.
No, because nothing says that. But this is Manchester United, and I think we've got that difficult game out of the way. In many ways, it was difficult, and it's out of the way. And I think you have to look forward to like the City game now. You have to look forward to Tuesday night. Nothing in that game prepares me for them two games, but something is telling me hey, this is Manchester United, and, you know, absolutely nuts. But then I've been nuts following United all my life, and things like this do happen.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But what did you think of Scott McTominay's performance? Because when we're talking about tonight's game, controlling the game in that midfield, sometimes we were poor, let Sheffield United have too much of the play.
Yes, that's
coming
true.
through midfield. So
Yeah.
is he going to have to change certain people in that midfield coming into that City game? Because for me, he's going to have to, or change his tactics or formation or something, because we can't be having that against Manchester City, giving them control of the midfield.
Listen, we can't have 3 forwards against Manchester City, because that's what we had there tonight against Sheffield United. If we have 3 forwards there, Manchester City will tear us apart. He has to play with 1 up front, and then he has to swamp that midfield. Because if that midfield has not been working well, so it has to change. I remember playing the cup final against City, and it was more tight, more compact, and we have to go at it like that. We have to wait for our moments and hope they come. 2, possibly 3 chances in the game. And to be honest, should we expect any more of that against City? No. So we have to change the tactics from tonight. We're too open against the top sides, and that's where we fail. It's okay against Sheffield United, a team fighting relegation. We got through it. We looked comfortable. I never feared tonight that we'd be in trouble, but things have to change. Tactics have to change, and the personnel has to change. But we're in a dire situation with injuries and that. But, you know...
The thing is as well, when you're looking up top, when you're talking about the 3 who started tonight, Højlund, he's desperate for a Premier League goal.
Yeah.
You've got Anthony, who's just come back, first start tonight, want a great performance. Rashford, is he still lacking a bit of confidence from what we've seen against Galatasaray, Brentford and tonight, etc.? So, you know, things are going to have to change, and he's going to have to work hard in training at Ten Hag and getting it right for them games next week.
Well, you just mentioned Marcus Rashford there. Didn't have a good game. You know, I thought it was a poor game, but it was a poor Sheffield United. So it really, can it be highlighted? Well, to be honest with you, it can be highlighted. I didn't think he put much energy into the game, much commitment. I mean, when you look at when Garnacho came on, you've seen him running back and slide tackling and getting in. And that's really what Marcus Rashford should be doing. But you're not seeing it.
To be honest with you, I did see it once or twice from Marcus Rashford, but I also seen it more than once or twice when he left it the right back to overlap and, you know, create chances in our half as well. So it's like he's not always switched on to the people around him making the runs, and that does need to be looked at from himself and the coaching staff. And you've seen that shot, was it in the second half, where he took it with his left foot, and you're thinking to yourself, he's right-footed. He's on the left-hand side. You know, just take it with your right foot. Just bend it into the bottom onion bag.
Yeah, these chances have to be put away, and he's not putting them away. So there's something wrong there. And at the end of the day, he's got to shape up. We got away with it tonight. There were some poor performances by individuals, but as a team, at times it was poor. But they were strong enough to get through a Sheffield United side who faded, I thought, badly once our substitutes came on. I thought they looked worried, but I thought at the end of the day, we have to improve. I feel as though we're going to improve. I want us to improve. You know, we've got big games coming up now.
Sorry to interrupt you there. You're just talking about the games coming up and the starting 11 tonight. Mason Mount didn't start tonight.
No.
Do you think that's down to the fact of his recent performances when he started games at United? Or is he looking more towards next week, you know, the week after with the games Ten Hag?
I mean, you can look at the games coming up. I mean, this is the game we had to win. It's the easiest of them. And we've got like Copenhagen, City, Newcastle. So he will have had an eye on the games coming up. So you have to like give Erik Ten Hag a little bit of slack. And no matter what his tactics were tonight, what his ideas were, what he was talking with the players, the enthusiasm and everything else, what goes around in a build-up to a football game. Everything tonight was affected by the death of Sir Bobby Charlton. That is a fact. The crowd felt it. You could see it on the pitch.
Yeah, I think we've all felt it.
Yeah, everyone's felt it. So you can't be critical of the tactics and everything, because everything, you know, inside you was affected. And, you know, the end of the day, the workmanlike performance got us through it, and we deserved the points. No two ways about it. But everything was affected tonight. But going forward, I think that getting it out so quickly after what's happened today will do everybody the world of good. Getting out there, kicking a ball, running around, getting the 3 points, get something back into the club, you know, something to cheer about, and then deal with what's coming. And we've got big things coming. So it's good that we've got a game of football out of the way.
Yeah, I expect Raphael Varane to come back in next week for both of them games against Copenhagen and Manchester City. The big question is, you know, based on performance tonight against Brentford and other stats out there for Maguire when he starts and United's win percentage, you expect him to start now alongside Raphael Varane? Yeah,
I think he'll be out there. I think Lindelof will stay at left back. I think he will play. One thing I've not mentioned tonight, I think that game tonight would have done Onana the world of good. The way he caught the ball there and smashed into players and kept hold of it, he'd done the save, he looked well, he looked composed. I don't think he put a foot wrong. And if he did, let us know. But I thought he had a good game. And for a confidence builder, that is the game for him. So with a bit of luck, that confidence will come back and he'll show us the goalkeeper he is. You know, let's hope so anyway.
What did you think of Amrabat's performance tonight, especially in like that defensive midfield role? I know he had that screamer late in the second half and it rattled the bar, still rattling now. But
I look at Amrabat, but I also look at the midfield as well. It all changed when they scored. Amrabat seemed to be sitting back early doors, trying to collect the ball and push it to the side and push forward and that. But suddenly when they scored, everyone seemed to change positions, and like Amrabat seemed to go more forward and wanting the ball, but he wasn't receiving it, and he sort of like he wasn't in the game as much. You know what I mean?
He was coming in and out the game like for little periods, wasn't he?
That's because the ball wasn't being given to him, and he was looking for the space, and it was good that he was looking for the space. So when the team gets back together and when the confidence is fully back there with everyone, you know, he will create. You could see what he was looking for. He was creating the space, he was wanting the ball, but just unfortunately, the players weren't giving it him for whatever reason.
Yeah, anything more to add, though, before we wrap it up?
No. You know, strange night, we all know why. Difficult, but at the end of the day, like I say, I was never worried once United sort of got on the front foot once they'd scored, which is strange to say, but it's a strange night. But United, to me, looked comfortable, and deserved the 3 points. And I just look forward now to the next week, the next fortnight, I think, with these big things coming here with Man United and, you know, the club itself. So, you know, we've got to just all stick together.
Yeah, and it's a big mark in our season as well with the Champions League next week. We've got to get 3 points on the board there. To even have a chance of going through the group. Then you've got the Carabao Cup as well, obviously City before that. So it's a big, like, 7 to 10 days coming up here for Manchester United.
Yeah, massive 10 days. You know, and there's no easy game here. There's no easy days. Each day from today is no easy day going forward for anything what's going on at Manchester United. And we have to stick together and hope that it works right over the next 10 days to a fortnight. Listen, it's been one of them days. We've ended up with a win. Fantastic. I'm over the moon.
Yeah, very emotional as well. I'd just like to thank everyone for getting in the messages of support and condolences for Sir Bobby Charlton's passing as well. Like we mentioned at the start of the video, we will be doing a video in the near future on Sir Bobby Charlton, so make sure you look out for that. I'm sure a lot of yous out there will want to get involved.
I'll just say, Bobby Charlton is my best player. Okay, he's the one I've always loved, and I was so proud, right, that when he passed away today, right, that I was at his last game at Chelsea in 1973. I love the fella.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for joining us today. Smash a like if you've enjoyed the video, and we will be back on Monday with another Manchester United news roundup. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, Reds, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.